All right. I'm going to hit random like 12 times. Random, 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 random. What do we get? Ooh, Enclave of the Endlings. I don't think we're ready to show that off just yet.
They get a tease, but that's all.
You get a tease, but that's it for tonight. Ooh, Citizen Dawn at the Block. That could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, unless we wanted to play... I mean, I know we've shown it off once already, but we could play Doc Thorath again. Because we've only shown it once. Handelabra Games, when should we expect responses to the audio files submitted to Bloodsworn? Will you respond to those that are rejected or only those that are accepted? They are all accepted.
There's no rejection.
There is no rejection. That's not the way we work. So if you submitted to the Bloodsworn, something that you submitted will be included. Jean-Marc is being very diligent about that. And to be honest, we didn't get... he thought we would get like 1 or 2 things from like lots of people. What we actually got was like 20 things from like 7 people. So so basically, the people who did submit stuff were incredibly prolific, and that's awesome. And so he's trying to use he's actually having a hard time using everything, but he's trying to use something from everybody. I hope that made sense.
So. Excuse me.
But that being said, at this point, we cannot accept any more submissions. The last submission, I believe, actually was you, Estelindus. If you sent something last week sometime, I just gave that to him yesterday because I was out of town last week. But he did say, yes, I thank you. It's not too late. I will go ahead and incorporate this. But he is working on that stuff right now. So it is too late to submit more stuff for the Bloodsworn Coliseum. All right. Yeah, I think we'll stick with that. We'll do Citizen Dawn at the Block. And you know what? I got Wraith, and I like Wraith, but I think... why don't you go ahead and play Skyscraper? We'll play Skyscraper twice tonight, and that way maybe we'll see if she can play a little differently. And I will play, for my second hero, I Spy with my little eye. My other option last game was chrono-ranger, so we'll play chrono-ranger.
Sounds good.
So we got
Advanced?
Yeah, Advanced Citizen Dawn versus the Wraith, Scholar of the Infinite, chrono-ranger, and Skyscraper at the Block.
I love the music for the block.
Yeah, me too. The thing I like, I think the most about it is, unlike a lot of environments, it has both a sort of like calm area, but then like a really, really not calm area. Whereas I think a lot of the environments tend to sort of waver around the same sort of feeling, but whereas this one kind of swings pretty wildly between 2 different ways.
We need to keep talking for another minute.
Oh, is it? Oh no, it worked for me.
Oh, did it? Okay. My internet connection here isn't as good. So.
Aha.
Well,
all right. Well, while you're doing that, I'll go ahead and read through the cards while we're waiting for you. So Wraith starts with an Inventory Barrage, Suit Yourself, Throat Jab, and Trust Fund. Scholar of the Infinite has an Alchemical Redirection, Get Out of the Way, Proverbs and Axioms, and Transmutive Recovery. And for those who aren't familiar with Scholar of the Infinite, I'll pop him open real quick. His power is Channel. Scholar deals himself and 1 target X infernal damage, where X equals the number of cards you've discarded since the end of your last turn plus 1. Excuse me. Chrono-Ranger, Compounded Bow, Temporal Grenade, Terrible Tech Strike, and the Whole Gang. That's a bounty. And Skyscraper, again, starts with almost the exact same hand she started with last time. 2 Colossal left hooks, a Linking Incursion, and a Neuralizing Resonator. Let's pop up in that Linking Incursion.
That's very different from her hand last time.
Didn't she start with 2 Colossal left hooks?
Started with 2 Thorathian Monoliths.
Oh, I see. She had 1 Colossal left hook and 2 Thorathian Monoliths. All right, so Linking Incursion. 1-shot Tiny. Switch to Skyscraper's Tiny character card. Reveal cards from the top of your deck until 2 link cards have been revealed. You may put each of those cards either into your hand or into play. Shuffle the other revealed cards into your deck. All right. Are you...
I really like Linking Incursion.
Yeah?
Oh, I'm ready now.
You're ready now. Fantastic. All right, so out comes Citizen Assault. Citizen Truth. Ugh. Citizen Autumn. And Citizen Tears.
So Neutralizing Resonator is going to be more useful this game for sure.
And explain why that is.
Because Citizen Dawn has horrible ongoing cards. And she destroys our ongoing, so we should destroy hers, just to get back at her. All right, so we have Citizen Truth. We should think about how to deal with him. The Wraith can't really do too much. The Scholar also. Chrono-ranger has a terrible tech strike, but it's rough. Colossal left hook. Actually, I might have to play both of those.
Yeah.
That would be 4 damage to him. The Wraith could do 1. Scholar can do 0. And Chrono-ranger can do 1. So we can't really get him this turn. So, but yeah, so. Actually, yeah, and I can't do both Colossal Left Hooks. Actually, I can do both Colossal Left Hooks and then have no cards left.
Yeah, you'll have no cards left.
I wouldn't bother throat jabbing him. That's kind of a waste of throat jab.
Yeah, so. That's kind of what I was thinking too. I may just trust fund.
Well, we have to discard a card first.
Right.
Yeah, trust fund's not a bad play.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of inventory barrage because I don't have much inventory to barrage with.
Actually, the Scholar will be able to do a point of damage to it.
Yeah, thanks. So, actually, thanks to the Citizen.
Yeah. Thanks, Citizen.
Thanks for making us discard. All right, and
I think you could, if you played the whole gang on Citizen Truth, it might be useful.
Oh yeah, that's true. Let's see, what are the other citizens?
And you could take out
Assault. Yeah. Question is, what do I get rid of? I guess Temporal Grenade, since there really isn't anything yet that I can use that on.
Yeah, and you can search for it.
Yeah, because it's in equipment.
Yeah. Oh,
yes, this is not even my final form.
I need to get rid of, I think, the Resonator. Clicking Incursion. I'm going to be discarding both of them anyways, so. Ooh, Citizen Truth start is rough.
Yeah, alright. So let's trust fund. Got a utility belt. Impromptu invention, thank goodness. Smoke bombs. And razor ordnance. Alright, so I'm definitely not going to discard the impromptu invention. I think I'll get rid of the smoke bombs. And probably the suit yourself because it's early. And then I will reduce the next damage dealt to me by 2.
All right. So get it out of the way won't do anything right now, but it'll be good to have for later. Actually, having everyone draw a card would be really useful. So I'm going to do that. After we all had to discard one.
Actually, yeah, I wonder what episode that was that we beat that scenario with Citizen.
It was pretty early.
It was pretty early.
I think it was when we only had the core game.
Yeah, if you check our YouTube channel, basically we used to have a page that had literally every single stream we'd ever done, but I've been moving those off so that there's only just the last season and the current season on our stream page. If you go to our YouTube channel and look through the playlists, you'll see all the different games that we've played.
You would like to regain 2 HP or use a power? Probably only useful for the Wraith to regain hit points. You don't have other powers.
Yeah, I could take 1 to reduce the next 2.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing, chrono-ranger doesn't have useful power.
Yeah, we don't have anything out yet.
Skyscraper can draw 2 cards, so I'm going to actually do that.
Ah, Tectonic Chokeslam. I'm actually going to pull that open because that's a cool
So yeah, actually, I will be able to destroy Truth with Skyscraper.
Yeah, so Tectonic Chokeslam, 1-shot huge. Switch to Skyscraper's huge character card. Skyscraper deals 1 target 4 melee damage. Skyscraper deals each target 1 projectile damage.
Yeah, so I can do Colossal Left Hook, Tectonic Chokeslam to take out Citizen Truth. And if you put the whole gang on Citizen Truth, then
we get rid of Assault.
Get rid of Assault if we want.
Lou Dolphin says, I believe that game was when you were demoing Expatriate, or at least at some point during your Rook City demo. So there's a good place for you guys to start if you want to try and see us take out Citizen Dawn with the horrible start.
Question is, I guess I don't need to use the Scholar's power because Skyscraper's going to do the work. So I'm just going to skip.
Oh, so by the way, as long as we're chatting with our wonderful stream viewers, one of the sessions that I went to at GDC was how to use video streaming to grow your player base. And that was something that we actually started doing. The idea came to us to do this stream because when we first launched the game, Board Game Geek they have a weekly in their iOS board games thing, they have a weekly thing where they play different iOS board games, and they played our game. And Dave really understands Sentinels and knew how to play it, but Brad didn't really. And we were like, you know what, we could do this better. And so we said, like, why don't we just go ahead and do it? Yeah, this isn't gonna do anything, so I'm just gonna and so we were like, well, why don't we just do a stream every week? And so we sort of started it sort of as a lark, like, oh, you know, we could show people how to play the game, whatever. And it's actually kind of grown into, like, I look forward to it every week, honestly. Like, not only because I like playing the game, you know, we play the game a lot because we have to test it, but we don't necessarily play the game with each other for fun. And to know that once a week I'm going to get to play the game for 2 hours just for fun with John is actually something I look forward to a lot. And I also obviously look forward to chatting with you people and just having fun talking about Sentinels and all the rest of it. So it's something I probably wouldn't trade for anything, and it was kind of an accident. We didn't even really mean to do it, but it's worked out. So, all right, so here comes a Colossal Left Hook.
Punch, punch, punch.
Let me prop open before you do anything else that Cortex Hyper Simulator, because it's another new card we haven't seen. Play this card next to a target. Reduce the first damage dealt by that target each turn by 1. At the end of the turn, that target deals itself 1 lightning damage. Oh, and then the Proportionist. That's another.
Proportionist is an interesting one. I like that card.
Ongoing limited. Increase sonic damage dealt by Skyscraper by 1. This is what we were talking about earlier about her deal 0 sonic damage. When Skyscraper's character card is switched to a larger size, Skyscraper deals each non-hero target 1 melee damage. When Skyscraper's character card is switched to a smaller size, draw a card. Very interesting.
Yep, I really like that card, but I'm probably going to discard it. Because I'm going to play another Colossal Left Hook.
Thanks, Summon Sumo. He says, you guys sold the game, in my opinion. I started watching your old streams, and I really liked it. Well, thanks. Yeah, see, the thing about our game is, you know, we take it to a lot of shows, like PAX and Gen Con and all the rest of it. Gen Con, obviously, is a little different because it's a board gaming crowd, and so they're used to the idea that they're going to need to sit down and really dig in. But when we show our game, we showed it, for instance, at Comic-Con Cleveland recently. Wizard World Comic-Con, and it's not super. It doesn't show well really in those situations. People in a lot of those shows, they come to a show like that expecting a game that they can sit down and start playing and see stuff blowing up immediately. They're not expecting a sort of cerebral, slow burn, deep strategic game like Sentinels is. And so as a result, we've sort of changed the way that we show the game. You know, we don't go to a lot of shows like that anymore. Even the PAX shows, we only go if we have something really specific that we're trying to do. And so it's just one of those things where, you know, we know that there are people out there who are really interested in a deep strategic game like this. Like, for instance, one of the reasons I like Sentinels is because I like Civilization. I played Civ 3, Civ 4, Civ 5, and that is a game that, like, you know, when you sit down to play that game, you know you're going to disappear into it for several hours. And I feel like, in a lot of ways, Sentinels is very similar, where, you know, you want to really understand exactly the strengths of each character, how to play each character, how to play different characters with each other. And that's, you know, it's a deep strategy game. It's not a run and gun or a twitchy sort of blow everything up right now kind of game. So, all right.
So Citizen Dawn played Return with the Dawn.
Of course she did.
There's a 50-50 chance it'll be Truth or Assault comes back. Hopefully it's Assault. First we have to discard a card.
But I like all of these cards. I guess I'll get rid of Mega Computer. I don't think... Ugh, I don't know. What would you get rid of? My gut is I'd probably get rid of Displaced Armory, but...
I would... No, that is not a thing I would get rid of.
Yeah, I know, because that lets you search.
That is the last card I would get rid of in your hand.
Yeah, but again, remember, you got to get yourself inside of Jeremy's head. What do I want to do? I want to deal damage right now. And so with Sudden Contract, that lets me get out...
Displaced Armory lets you do damage right now and potentially play another card or get a power that does more damage, or it's...
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so basically, I'm assuming...
more damage.
I'm assuming it would be between Compounded Bow or Terrible Tech Strike. Is that right? Or would you...
Tech Strike.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll get rid of that. I did not play Fall from Heaven 2. Estelindis, unfortunately. I read a lot about it. Back in those days, Civ 4 mods were not a thing that was really well supported on Mac, and I'm a Mac guy. Civ 5, thankfully, is much more supported for Mac. So I play a lot of the mods for Mac on Civ 5. In fact, I was just playing it this week. I just fired up Civ 5 again this past weekend. Haven't for a while, but I was playing it.
So what you need to do on your turn with chrono-ranger is get rid of Return with the Dawn. FYI.
Okay.
Unless the Wraith gets a grappling hook. Because Return with the Dawn is going to potentially bring back Citizen Truth, and we can't have that happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's Impromptu Invention. And there's a grappling hook. All right, so that's good. Let's get... What can I get out? I don't have anything other than my stealth, so my gut tells me to get out a damage dealer, but I have both Razor Ordnance and Throwing Knives in hand. So I wonder if I just get out Micro-Targeting Computer with the knowledge that I'm going to get Razor Ordnance or Throwing Knives out next turn, and then just grappling hook that Return with the Dawn now.
Well, or chrono-ranger could do it.
Tell me how chrono-ranger could do it again?
Displaced Armory into a Temporal Grenade.
Oh, a Temporal Grenade. Right. Okay. Yeah, and if I Throwing Knives... If I Micro-Targeting Computer into a Throwing Knives, I can get rid of both Autumn and Tears. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So let's Micro-Targeting in play, and we'll Throwing Knives... Rid of Autumn.
Yeah, and I would actually just leave Citizen Assault out.
Yeah, hit Citizen Dawn with my 3rd damage.
He doesn't do that much damage.
Right, and of course, obviously, I mean, we assume this goes without saying, but let's go ahead and mention it for anyone who's new. If Citizen Dawn ends up with 5 or more citizens in her trash, she will flip, and she becomes immune, and then we got to get a bunch of citizens out, and it's just a huge hassle. So right now, there's 3 citizens in there, which is why that's the argument for keeping Citizen Assault out. Even though he's going to deal some damage, if we can keep her from flipping, we can keep wailing on her for the time being.
Correct.
Yeah, so Estelindis, just to go back into the Civ 4 nerdism for a minute, it's not that they were harder to make work, it's that they just didn't work. They flat out did not support Mac modding on the Mac, so there was like a bunch of hacks I had to do to try and make it work. And I did for a couple of them, but it was just such a hassle that I just ended up just not doing it. Plus, once Civ 5 came out, I really super fell in love with Civ 5. I liked the fact that the whole stack of death was gone. I know it was a huge controversy at the time, but I really like the way Civ 5 plays, especially with the hexes instead of the squares. All right, so we'll go deck.
I played Civilization 1.
Ah, he's old school.
And I really enjoyed it a lot. And Civ 2, I don't know, not as much. And I never played the ones after that. And I really like Civ Rev quite a bit.
I played Civ Rev. I like Civ Rev a lot.
I think I really like how it streamlines the game. It's definitely not as, like, obviously deep a game, but you can play a full game of Civ in like 3 hours, right?
Yep.
So there's that. And I can play it on my Xbox. All right, time for a linking incursion. Did you read that one yet?
We read it at the top of the game, but I'll read it again. Switch to the tiny. Reveal cards from the top of your deck until 2 link cards have been revealed. You may put each of them either into your hand or into play. Shuffle other revealed cards into your deck.
This is one of my favorite of her cards because it makes it really easy to get links into play really quickly. All right, so I'm going to compel Susan Dawn to do a thing. Because she does +1 damage. And she's doing the damage here, so we can have her destroy the time-crazed prisoner. We could have her destroy Citizen Assault, but I don't know if that's a good idea. That would have put 4 into the trash. I feel like a worse citizen could come out that we want to be in the trash instead.
Yep, nope, I'm fine with that.
And then we'll put a Cortex Hyperstimulator on her.
Yeah, Bella Sorcery. I have gotten into the point now where I almost exclusively play One City Challenges, and I play them on small maps at fast speed. Because I kind of want to try and get them done in one day if I can. I usually go for science victories. I almost never go for conquest victories. I'll sometimes go for a culture victory, but yeah, generally speaking, I love the super tall One City Challenge science victory. Like, that just feels so satisfying to me.
Oh, devastating Aurora.
Ah!
See, you could have played in Fred IPs before. That's what I would have done on your turn. But you are your own man.
That I am.
That's okay, we didn't actually have that much stuff.
And it gets rid of Char for us, so that's something at least.
I could have put an aggression modulator on Char. It would have been awesome.
Ah, true enough.
But he's gone.
Bella Sorcière. Thank you for that. Hope I remember that in future weeks. Bella Sorcière.
Well, luckily you have an impromptu invention, so you can get set up quickly again.
Yes, indeed. All right, so I got Razor Ordnance in hand. Draw a combat stance. Yeah, I mean, if the plan is just to wail on her, I think I'll just micro-targeting computer again. Razor Ordnance and just deal some 5 damage. Yeah, so Bella Sorcière says that he's never tried the One City Challenge. They actually built it into the game finally. It was a mode in earlier versions of Civ that was sort of like a, you know, wink wink nudge nudge, fingers crossed, I promise to not found a second city. But they actually built it in later versions of the game where it won't let you even build settlers. And it's awesome. It's awesome.
That's actually even harder if you can't have settlers to modify your train and stuff, or are there other units that can do that? I guess there's like engineers that can do it later and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, you got workers and other kinds
Remember,
of things.
Civ 1.
Yeah, exactly, Civ 1. Yeah, settlers in Civ 5 is basically just their entire purpose is to found a city. I guess you can actually use them to boost the population of other cities, but again, if you don't have more than one city, right, there's no purpose for them. So. Oh yeah, they mentioned Venice. Yeah, I actually just played a Venice game last night, but Venice is really interesting because he also cannot found new cities, but he can capture city states and basically turn them into additional cities through their amazing mercantile prowess. So. Oh, I apologize. I guess Bella Sorcière is not a dude. I apologize. There's my white male privilege showing. I apologize. All right, bounty board. What do I have in my trash? One? Just one. Compounded bow and sudden contract. I would probably sudden contract into like a by any means. Yeah.
Yeah. On Dawn would be good.
Yep.
Sure. Tearing her apart with that. Oh, no environment target to play aggression modulator on.
Yeah, so just to follow up on the discussion of sort of assumed gender and or sexual identity in the chat room, I didn't even put two and two together of the whole Bella being female thing.
I did.
Well, John is Canadian, which would make him a little bit more progressive than me, just sort of by default. If it was Bella with an A, I might have, but Belle, I don't know. He's in Italy, too, so, you know, he's a little bit more entrenched in some of those sort of romance language.
True. I've been fumbling around romance languages for a few months. It's been very difficult.
So I apologize for making assumptions. I actually do honestly put some effort into trying not to do that. It's one of those things where since I became a dad of two daughters, I've actually become pretty hyper aware of some of that stuff, but obviously not as aware as I probably could be. You know, specifically, I know that when I played the Lego Harry Potter games with my daughter, my oldest daughter, who's now 10, she kept asking me, why can't I play Hermione on this level? Because that's all she wanted to do. She wanted to play Hermione. And I didn't have an answer for that. It's one of the reasons why I like Sentinels. You know, there's actually, I think, almost a completely even number, at least depending on where you are and which expansions you've got. There's a pretty even number of female to male characters to play, which is awesome. But yeah, it's just one of those things where, you know, I know that as a white dude who's sort of born into privilege, it's something I need to keep constant vigilance about, and I try. But I am, as always, a fallible human, so I don't always do it perfectly. All right, so as you can see here,
found a citizen who we'd rather have in the trash than.
Yes, I concur. And it looks like
I discarded a citizen on my turn when I played that link on her. So
so she has how many now? 5, 4?
4 in the trash. So we need to just live with Citizen Hammer. You could throat jab him.
So also, by the way, you guys might notice here, we were talking earlier about why we weren't showing off Captain Cosmic yet, and you'll notice now Citizen Dawn has 3 cards under / next to her. She's got the Neuralizing Resonator, she's got the Cortex Hyperstimulator, and she's got By Any Means. And that was one of the UI things. You'll notice now that cards, I think this is something that John was either working on today or within the last few days, you'll notice that cards, it used to be that if you added too many cards next to, cards would actually start going off the screen and you couldn't read them. And that's something that we've been really working to fix, because especially now with Captain Cosmic and all of these link cards, that's a scenario that happens a lot. And so we wanted to make sure that the UI was handling that properly. So, okay, so what should I do here? Let's see. I got 2 utility belts, grappling hook, and a throat jab.
Throat jabbing Citizen Hammer wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals each hero target 3 fire damage. That's a lot of damage. Yep,
and it's
I'm fine.
+1, so.
Do we have something that's doing area of effect, or should I Razor Ordnance Dawn?
I would Razor Ordnance Dawn.
Yeah. 6. Look at that. I like it. Yeah, so still a little bit of conversation about diversity. One of the things that we did hear a bit when we released the initial version of the core game is that there were no technically, at least as far as people knew, there were no people of color in the core game, which I believe is not entirely accurate, because isn't one of the iterations of Bunker African American? Right.
Two, actually.
Two, actually, you're right. But you couldn't tell until he got incapacitated because he's in the suit. Okay, compounded bow or hunter and hunted. I have one out right now. I've got 15 hit points, so hunter and hunted would.
Hunted bow is probably your more bang for the buck damage.
I agree.
At least this turn.
And is Skyscraper going to get rid of Hammer? Or no, wait, we don't have to worry about him this turn.
We don't want to get rid of him.
Yeah.
If we put another citizen in the trash, she'll flip.
Right. But he's neutered for the moment.
Yeah. And I probably don't want to. I can use that to destroy Hunter and Hunted if you want to have a big sort of play it as a one-shot kind of turn. All right. I can do a linking incursion again. I'm going to do that. Will compel Citizen Dawn once again.
Oh, someone says, but no, but really, when are you guys releasing this? We have not named a date when we are releasing Wrath of the Cosmos yet. But stay tuned. We usually make those announcements on the stream. So once we are confident that we know when it will come out, we will probably make the announcement on the stream at some point. So
not going to bother playing that card because Citizen Dawn is going to destroy that card right now with her mighty compulsion.
Have I read the aggression modulator? I don't think I have. Let's pop that open. Equipment link. Play this card next to an environment target. Reduce damage dealt by that target to hero targets by 2. Increase damage dealt by that target to villain targets by 1.
So you can see there, I put another card next to Citizen Dawn, and that pushed Citizen Hammer up.
Yep.
And I will get a compulsion canister back. More linking. I guess I'm a tiny skyscraper at this game.
Yep. Well, and honestly, I'm glad that we're showing that, because I've played Skyscraper a few times, and I've had at least 2 games where she basically stayed tiny the whole time, and that's exactly what you're showing here. Is you got lots of links and lots of other things. If you don't bring out any switch to normal or switch to huge cards, she'll just stay tiny the whole time.
All right, we have a time-crazed prisoner who's going to do 14 damage on the environment turn.
That's good times right there. There's one of Citizen Dawn's ongoings. That's not super fun.
That's the easy one.
It is the easy one, but it's still not super fun.
It's actually good because we want those citizens to heal. I'm okay with Luminous Leadership, actually. We don't want those to be destroyed. So Time Crazed Prisoner is going to hit the second highest, which we can manipulate to be Dawn, and have him hit Dawn for 14 damage. I feel like we should do that.
Yeah, so basically we need to get Citizen Dawn to somewhere between 14 and 20. Is that what I'm seeing? Am I reading that right? Yep. Okay, good. Okay, so...
that should be easy. Actually, if we get her to 15, the prisoner will win the game for us.
Ooh. I like
14 or 15.
Math is fun. Okay, so... irrespective of anything that I do right now, I can get her down to 20... 20 or 21?
20.
20. Yeah, I think I'll just utility belt and then get her down to 20, and then ooh, another impromptu invention. I like it. So yes, I did see the "What is this? A skyscraper for ants?" comment, and yes, I am also subscribed to that subreddit of things for ants, which is hilarious, by the way.
All right, so you can't use the compounded bow on Citizen Dawn, but you could, as long as you just hit her once with a, you could hit her with a terrible tech strike, for example, and she'll be at 14, which is where we want her. And then hit something else. You can destroy the citizens if you want. You want to kill stuff.
Sure.
Kill citizen assault.
Yeah.
Kill those guys. The time-crazed prisoner is on our side. Oh, and watch this. This is going to be great.
I'm ready.
Fine. That's one more damage to Citizen Dawn.
Nice.
One more damage to Citizen Dawn. And actually, if you look at the artwork on that, if you play it on that environment card that's depicted there, it's really good because that card does 1 damage to all non-environment targets. And so it's a very effective way to kill all the villain targets.
And what card is that?
MJ.
And that is in the environment...
Tomb of Anubis.
Tomb of Anubis.
All right, and now it's the environment turn. Go, time-crazed prisoner.
$17.
Look at what it's 17 to Citizen Dawn and 8 to the Wraith, if you would choose the Wraith, because of the aggression modulator
Very
and
nice.
stuff. Excellent.
Oh, achievement unlocked. I got achievement progress on the hero we deserve and achievement unlocked on the hero we need. Very nice. And there's that victory music we all know and love. So there it is, folks. Advanced Citizen Dawn down to 0 versus a team of the Wraith, Scholar of the Infinite, Chrono-Ranger, and it looks like tiny skyscraper. Oh, so cute. Little tiny skyscraper. Good game, everybody. Man, see, I never keep track of time now that when I'm in the game, it hides my menu bar. It's 8:43, so an hour and 45 minutes, essentially. So that was a pretty solid stream. 2 victories. I like it. You got to see 2 very different games with Skyscraper. One where she was all over the map, huge. She was normal. She was tiny. She was huge again. And now one where she was basically tiny the whole time. She's one of those characters that can kind of, depending on the luck of the draw, she can be very different in very different games.
No, she started off huge and did get rid of truth, right?
That's true. That's true. Cool. All right, folks. I think that's going to do it for us. It's probably almost 2 o'clock in the morning for John in Firenze, Italia. So we're going to say goodnight, and we will, next week, stay tuned for some more Wrath of the Cosmos preview, which we will be doing every week until it's time to release, which, again, we have not specifically said when that will be yet. But stay tuned for news about that fairly shortly. And I think that's about it.
Cool. Have a good night, everyone.
All right, everybody. Have a great one. We'll see you next week.